Chapter 115 of One Piece. Woo. Ooh boy. Man. It's kind of mid.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Don't you worry, I can already hear the angry mob outside with pitchforks at hand and the wailing sirens in the distance coming right for my neck, but at least let me explain myself. There was a lot in this chapter that I liked, of course. As with every One Piece chapter, there will be things that you like and dislike, and a lot of things that happened in this chapter was kind of a letdown for me. Now don't get me wrong, when I say it's mid, I don't mean that it's necessarily a bad chapter. It's just average, and you know, an average One Piece chapter is still a good chapter. It just didn't live up to my expectations is what I'm trying to say. I think I had a clearly different thought of how things were going to play out, or certain things were going to play out, and there were still things I liked, but also things I really disliked. But let's get the good stuff out of the way first. I think my favorite part of the chapter was the confrontation between Kinemon and Mr. Woo. Kaido is really growing on me like a lot. I think, like I said this before and I'll say it again, I think Kaido has the potential to be one of the best, if not the best antagonist in the entire series. He already has like the portrayal, he just needs that extra depth to him, which we already know exists based on his dialogue alone. And you know, the different perspectives he has on certain subject matters like honor and death and sacrifice and betrayal. So really, I think the only thing that we're missing is the context behind what it is that made him have these certain views. And I'm sure that we're gonna get that later down the line. Now, besides Kaido, we also have Kinemon and his supposed death. In the last chapter review, I said that I don't think Kinemon is dead just yet, and it turns out I'm right. He was still alive from Kaido's attack, although I don't know if you could call that really being alive, but essentially he was on his last legs, and Kaido finishes him off at the end, like I predicted. But what I got wrong is that Kinemon didn't actually have that one grandiose speech that I was expecting. But instead, we did get some internal monologue and some flashbacks with him and Momonosuke, showing how Kinemon really developed that father-son bond with him, even though it was just all an act. What happened here was that Kinemon's life flashed before his eyes. We've heard time and time again that when someone's about to die, a film reel of their memories and everything that they did throughout their entire life plays in their head. And that's exactly what happened here, except instead of thinking about everything that happened, Kinemon only thought of Momonosuke and that relationship that he made with him, which means that he did really consider Momonosuke as his real son at some point, even if they were just pretending the entire time. Instead of thinking about his wife, Suru, or even the Red Scabbards, or even Odin, Kinemon thought of Momo and, you know, how he was acting as that father figure. And that really hurts because that's the only thing he thought about right before his death. If Kinemon is in fact dead, because if Oda brings him back after this, man, please Oda, please don't do this, please. Please! Just let people die, please. Just let him die. The man's done enough. He suffered enough. Let him go. Even though I don't think this was the proper send-off for Kinemon, I think it was still logical based on what happened. He wouldn't have the energy to talk or anything. But I still wanted him to have that final conversation with Momo, but I guess this is good enough. It wasn't bad, it was good. So, I'm happy. Unfortunately, I regret to inform you that this is where the good things stop. Because the rest of the chapter I found average, or I'll just say it, I found pretty bad. So we see the Alliance's reaction to Bao Huang's message, or Kaido's message that Bao Huang relayed upon his command about Luffy being beaten. And we saw the initial reaction last chapter, but now we're seeing the aftermath when it's starting to kick in that what the situation really means. So as expected, the morale of the Alliance members dropped. And, you know, someone like Chopper would obviously believe this too, because we know he's really gullible and he falls for these things easily. And because of that, Queen catches him off guard. However, Kawamatsu and Izo pick up on this quickly and continue on with wherever they're headed to, which we do not know yet. And Sanji is finally using Zoro as a weapon. Let's go. Speaking of which, Sanji was pretty good this chapter, not gonna lie. He hit Queen, spun his neck around and deflected the arrows landing on the allies, which was a really good save, but based on the reactions I've seen of this, I think people are overreacting, or some people are. I don't feel like this is the Mr. Prince moment that we've all been waiting for. First of all, I don't think Chopper would have died from Queen's attack, or, that attack specifically where he's biting down on him. The only way in which I see this being a fatal attack is if Queen goes for Chopper's neck, which I doubt Oda would do, or if Queen has some sort of chemical or poison within his teeth that, is lethal. But that's not communicated to us, so I'm just to assume they're regular normal metal teeth growing out of Queen's, teeth. So it is what it is there. And because there's no sense of danger or lethality there, I didn't feel like there was imminent danger for Chopper's life, and because of that there was no tension. So Sanji making the save there, it wasn't really whoa Sanji, yeah, it was just a more like yay, Sanji's here, he saved Chopper, yay. It was that sort of feeling, instead of, compared to Enies Lobby where Sanji saved Usopp from Jobra's clutches. From knowing the story alone, we know that Usopp is one of the weaker members of the crew and one of the most vulnerable, like Nami, especially if you compare it to someone like Chopper. Even though Chopper isn't the strongest fighter, he still has a lot better physical attributes than Usopp does, with being a Zoan Devil Fruit type user and all. And not to mention that Chopper is right now in his strongest form, Monster Point. So all his physical attributes are even stronger than before. So we don't get that same sense of danger because we knew that Usopp in that situation was gonna get killed by Jabra no matter what happens. He had no way to escape, nothing to do, he couldn't defend himself, so someone had to inevitably jump in and save him, and the tension was built upon that notion. But here it's different, and because of that it loses a lot of its impact. But still, this is the right track for Sanji's character. I hope to see more of this, and it seems like we'll be getting a Sanji versus Queen matchup, but I don't want to get my hopes up for that because literally all the fights so far have been off screen one way or another. So I hope we get to see it in full, but Oda be Oda. We also see Sparrow get flung backwards, but I don't think he's knocked out or anything, maybe temporarily, but I'm sure he's gonna get up again because if that's his entire purpose for this arc, it feels kind of anticlimactic and inconclusive. So I'm sure he has some other big role to play other than to just get knocked out by Sanji throwing Queen. Now Sanji also hands Zoro over the Chopper, but I'm not sure how Chopper's gonna treat him exactly because for one, he's in his Monster Point form. So to treat him, wouldn't he have to go out of that? Because it seems like he's a little too big, and I don't know, treating him on the battlefield doesn't seem like the best idea. But if Chopper's Monster Point form runs out, he'll be vulnerable and can't do anything. Plus those added risks that, Caesar said last chapter, it'll affect his ability to treat anybody. So I don't think he'll be able to do much. Unless Marco pops in, which might be the case. But I'm not sure if he's fighting King right now. I'm guessing he is. And that's what's going on. So he's probably occupied with that. So I'm not really sure what's going to happen to Zoro in this situation. Maybe Chopper will treat him in his Monster Point form, but we'll see. Now to the part of the chapter that I really do not like. Luffy using this Voice of All Things ability, or whatever it is. Now I know that it could very well just be me, but does anybody else feel like this is super forced? I feel like it came out of left field and there was no prior foreshadowing or anything to this. Like, I feel like I missed a chapter, honestly. Like what, Luffy heard Zunisha speak for like 5 seconds and he was able to learn telepathy all of a sudden? It makes no sense. It doesn't add up. It just feels so random. And not only that, but it seems like he has a pretty good grasp of this ability, like he just learned it on the spot. I don't get how that makes sense. Like, can any other person learn this ability? Because I understand if it was just Momonosuke that can hear him, but it seems like friggin' Law's crew can hear him too, which is so weird. I don't know what's up with this ability. It feels more like a plot convenience than anything, and I really do not like it. And that's the main reason why my rating for this chapter dropped exponentially. I just don't like this whatsoever. Beyond that though, we have Shinobu and Momonosuke that ran away from Kaido, and it seems like Shinobu used her jutsu or devil fruit or whatever to actually fall down from the island with Momonosuke. And what I'm assuming is gonna happen will be that they'll fall in the ocean or on Law's submarine, and Momonosuke is gonna fly Luffy back up to Onigashima because, you know, when he turns to a dragon and whatever, he could fly using the clouds. Or alternatively, I could see Momo flying back to the island with Shinobu, but I think him dropping Luffy off at the island is more likely. But I think people are underestimating how huge this moment is, because Momo is out of the enemy's reach right now. That means that, you know, the Alliance has nothing to worry about. As long as Momo is alive and kicking, there's still hope and they'll still fight. So right now that Momo is safe and sound, well, for the time being, the samurai could fight with a clear conscience. And another thing I don't like, Zeus is back as Nami's climb attack somehow. Who, what, when, where, why? How? How in the conceivable hell did Zeus become Nami's climb attack? Doesn't Big Mom have to infuse souls into things for them to become animated and live? I don't understand. What happened? Did Mom do that? I doubt that. Why would she help Nami? And what purpose does this serve? Like, did Nami get a power up from this? Because I don't see how a living climb attack is going to help her at all. Maybe it'll defend her when she's running away or something, but like, why can't Zeus just be dead? Like, he served this purpose. This must have happened when Hera ate the black balls. I think Zeus's soul somehow transferred into the climb attack and, you know, it became animated that way. But I still don't like it. I never liked Zeus being part of Nami's arsenal. It doesn't feel earned at all. And it's part of an emperor's abilities, and I don't feel like Nami had enough portrayal, or she didn't even do enough to deserve such powers. So I was glad that Zeus was dead at first, and now it seems like he's back, and albeit another form, and we don't know how that's gonna work. But I just wish Zeus would stay dead, or at least be part of Big Mom's arsenal and not Nami's. Moving on from that, however, we have Law that finally made it to where Kid and Big Mom were confronting each other, but it seems like we haven't gotten anything from that. It doesn't seem like that fight even progressed. I don't think, did Kid fight Big Mom off screen? Because it doesn't seem like it. This was another thing that I was let down by. I was really hoping that we would get some Kid highlights and, you know, have this 1v1 with Big Mom to see how well he stacks up against an Emperor, you know, alone. And it doesn't seem like we got any of that. And Law just came in, and now it's going to be a 2v1. So I hope Kid has a better portrayal in the future, because right now, let's face it, Kid hasn't done shit. He hasn't done shit. Kid fans are eating less than Sanji fans. I don't even know how that's possible. That's just sad. That's just really, really sad. And I was hoping that this would change things, but apparently not. Well, whatever. It is what it is. You can't get everything. So, Oda did say in an SBS for Volume 99, the one that just came out in Japan, that he will elaborate on Kid's powers. So, we'll wait and see what's in store for his character. And I hope it's good, because right now, he really needs it. He really, really needs it. But finally, we have Yamato confronting Kaido. I didn't think it was going to happen, like, this chapter. I thought it would be next chapter's cliffhanger or something like that, but apparently not, and it's happening. I'm really excited for this confrontation. It's something I really wanted to see for a while now. I wanted to see how their dialogue would go. I want to see what kind of interactions they would have, and, you know, what kind of hints we'll get to Kaido's past and how he treated Yamato, or what their relationship was really like. So I'm excited for that, and other than that, that's pretty much the chapter. Now for my chapter rating. Now this is gonna trigger a lot of people, but screw you, kiss my ass. This is my opinion. I don't care what you think. I'm giving this chapter, accounting everything that happened, a 5.5 out of 10. Yeah, that's my score. It had some really good stuff, Kinemon and Kaido, that was great. Everything else though, it was mid or below, so it is what it is there. You know, if that Luffy voice of all things ability, whatever, whatever it was, that bullshit thing, if that didn't happen, if that didn't exist, I would give this chapter an easy 7 at least. But because that exists, I can't. That thing, it's just trash. It's garbage. No. Why does it exist? Why did it happen? It came out of nowhere. I do not like it one bit. It really bothered me. It really, really bothered me. But yeah, I'm done. I'm done here. So if you like the video, go down and hit the like button, subscribe to the channel for more future content like this, and I will see you all very, very soon.